bad. Baka! My bad. You caught me get my pink venom, getting my pink venom on with the black pink. But you already know what they about from last episode. But this time we're in episode 14. Wow, 14. So here we go. First things first, I would like to speak on the matter of the facts. See, I can't even do it. I'm trying to speak like they do on House of Dragons. Good on you, milady. I can't do it. So hard. But House of Dragons, it's on HBO Max. We don't get spoilers here, but just know that we love them. I think it's awesome. I have not watched Game of Thrones. You guys are probably like, oh my god. Yeah, never watched Game of Thrones, but I wanted to see House of Dragons because I like dragons. Excuse me, going to my notes. Yeah, I like dragons. But I can tell you the House of Dragons, it's cool because they do like a time jump leap. So they go from like when somebody's like 14, 15, and then they skip like 6 years. So they get new actors and actresses. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool. Also, as I said before, the dragons, they're awesome to see these tiny different ones to a big, ginormous one. It's awesome to see the interactions that they're supposed to have with the dragons. And one thing that they do, I notice how they interact with them. They use like an ancient language. I don't know what it's called, but they speak dragon. They speak this thing. But one of my favorite words that they do is Dracaria. I don't know. It means like fire, like blow fire. Dracaria. I don't know. I think it's cool. Yeah. Check it out on HBO Max. It's almost done. All the episodes should be there very soon. House of Dragons. Look it up. Then we got the MLB playoffs. They're here. I told you we'd be talking about the playoffs. We actually have a big old picture of the playoff bracket. And we will go to that. And again, you will see what I'm seeing. But as we see here, we did have the wild card happen this last week. And we had Philadelphia go in and clean sweep St. Louis 2-0. Then you had San Diego and New York Mets. They went to a game 3, best out of 3. They went all the way to game 3, and San Diego got them. So Phillies will be playing the number 2 spot and the number 2 seed in the National League, which was the Atlanta Braves, and San Diego got the number 1 seed, possibly the number 1 team in MLB, the Dodgers. Congratulations, Dodger fans. And then in the American League, you got Tampa Bay Rays. They took on Cleveland, and Tampa Bay lost 2-0. And then, Seattle, making the playoffs the first time since 2001. They win a series as well, 2-0. So they're taking on the number 1 seed, the Houston Astros. And you have the Cleveland Guardians. Sorry, not the Indians. I thought, the Guardians. You have the Guardians taking on the New York Yankees. We'll see how this pans out, but I think it could be the Yankees and the Dodgers meeting up in the World Series. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Now we take that away. Now we're moving on to the Week 5 results. Last week, we went right there. We went 8-8. 8-8, not bad. There was a lot of teams that kind of upset, just like the Giants being the New York Giants, the G-Men being the Giants up. That was a big one, you know. There was another big win. Houston getting their first win of the season. So now there's officially no more teams in the NFL that have no wins. Houston got their first win. So those 2 games, you know, even a Raider game, which was 1-point game, those 3 games right there, I would have gone 11-6. No, 11-7, something like that, around there. It would have been great. Yeah, 11-5. It would have been 11-5. Excuse me. I had to look down and look at the math. Anyways, we're going to talk about Week 6 here. That was Week 5. So now we're talking about Week 6. Week 6. So starting off, hit the music, my boy. Nice. So starting off on Thursday night, we have the Washington Commanders versus the Chicago Bears. I'm going with the Bears. Then you have the San Francisco 49ers versus the Atlanta Falcons. We're going San Fran. Then you have Cincinnati Bengals versus the New Orleans Saints at New Orleans. You know what? Tyson Hill, that quarterback, I'm going with you, man. You killed it last week. So I'm picking New Orleans for the first time this year. Going with NO. Then we have Tampa Bay versus Pittsburgh. Gotta go with Tampa Bay because Pittsburgh's looking rough this year. Tampa Bay 3-2. We'll go with them. We have Jacksonville versus the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going Indy. Jacksonville, I picked them last week, but Trevor Lawrence looked bad. He looked off. All of his throws were really high. I'm going with Indy. They're at home. I like them. Then you got the New York Jets, who are surprising 3-2 versus the Green Bay Packers, who are also 3-2. They're surprising 3-2 because they should have been 3-2. But I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. I don't see Aaron Rodgers losing to the Mean Green. I don't see that. I do not see that at all. Then you have the New England Patriots versus the Cleveland Browns in the doghouse. But I'm gonna go with the New England Patriots. Hopefully Mac Jones will be ready to return, but his backup looked nice. Then we have the Baltimore Ravens versus the New York Giants, the G-Men. I'm going with the G-Men because they're 4-1. They've been killing it this year. And the Minnesota Vikings and Miami. Man, I'm going to do Miami Dolphins fans a favor and not pick them. Because each time I pick them, they've lost. So I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings. Maybe that'll help you Miami fans out. We'll see. Then we have the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. The Battle of the Birds again. But I'm going with Seattle. The Seahawks. Then we have the Carolina Panthers versus the LA Rams. In LA. I'm going with the LA Rams because Baker Mayfield, he's hurt. You know, Sam Darnold's there as a backup, but Baker Mayfield's hurt. LA Rams, they're going to win that one. They got it. Then we have 2 games of the week. The first one, the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs in KC. It is going to be the rematch of possibly, they're calling it the best playoff game from last year when Buffalo played Kansas City, and yeah, you know how that went. So Buffalo's coming out for revenge, and I think they're gonna get it. Kansas City could barely handle my Raiders, so I think Buffalo's gonna come out and get some revenge, have some fire underneath them, and take it to the Chiefs. So I'm going with Buffalo. Then we have this next game. We're gonna keep the pick. I'm gonna tell you guys about it later on, and you'll know why. Because this next game, it's the Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles. We're gonna keep that game, the decision for later on, and you'll know why here in just a few minutes. And then rounding it off is Monday Night Football. You have the Denver Broncos and the LA Chargers. I'm gonna have to go with the LA Chargers. Russell Wilson is struggling really bad. Yeah, I'm going with the LA Chargers. This week, the Vegas Raiders, my Raiders, the Detroit Lions, the Houston Texans, and the Tennessee Titans, they all have a bye week. They're on a bye this week, so we can chill out and rest this week. So, we're going to go to the second portion of today's show, and it's going to be an interview with an actual Cowboy fan that lives here in SoCal. We'll be back and see you in a second.
Ads are getting shorter and shorter.
Do the do.
Hey, stop it! Wow, whoa, I didn't even drink yet.
Do the do.
Come on.
Do the do. Hello, and I told you we would be back. I have a surprise. I have a guest. It's been a minute since I've had a guest, and it's a good one. It's SoCal's only, probably not only, but he's the number one Cowboy fan in SoCal. I didn't think we had one, but we have one. Then let me introduce you to Gilbert Lozano. We are the number one Cowboys, number one. So it looks like MJ is going to be a part of this interview too every once in a while. Cowboys! But I needed a Cowboy fan here because we had a bet. The bet was if the Cowboys beat the Giants or whoever they played last weekend, he could be on the show. I'm sorry, they played the Rams. And I really thought they were going to lose. And they didn't. So
we are awesome! Cowboys!
This man is excited. So first things off, how are you guys 4-1 without your starting quarterback?
Well, that was the number one problem, in my opinion. But when we got our secondary quarterback, Rush, he is awesome. He's the reason why we're going to go far.
Do you want Prescott to come back, or should he keep the headphones on?
Keep the headphones on, fool.
Telling you to keep the headphones on. All right. Well, the big question is, what's happening this week? And you guys are playing the 5-0 Eagles. Jalen Hurts, he's playing with MVP status this year. What do you guys have to do to beat them, and are you going to beat them?
Our defense is playing awesome. We need to keep it going. Maybe sack that man a couple of times, throw him off his game, and we'll get this. We'll get this. As long as Rush stays on his game, we're going to beat him.
Putting a lot of pressure on the QB.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
he is technically undefeated as a starter. I believe he's 5-0 and going back to last year.
Yep.
So we will see. And I told you guys I wouldn't pick the game for Philly in Dallas until I had him here. So his pick is Cowboys, of course. And I had to think about this really hard. I didn't even circle it on my paper yet because I didn't know who to choose. But I thought about it really hard. And I think the Eagles are going to go 6-0 after.
What?
We're going to see if the Eagles can go 6-0. I'm picking the Eagles. He's going to go with the Cowboys. If the Cowboys win and he gets it, I will put his record up there. So we'll see. Until then, thank you for watching. Tune in next week to see who's in and see how the records are. Keep it tight like the great Xavier Woods says. Sir, anything you want to say to them?
Cowboy fans,
Cowboys.
we are number one. Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
And you know I say, rock chalk, Jayhawk, we're coming. Bye. Bye.